I'm Stephanie,
I'm Meredith.
and welcome to This Is My Circus.
Do, 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 do. So I pulled up in the driveway and it's on a very steep hill.
Yes.
I checked to make sure that I had the car in park like 4 times. I was just not feeling like I could trust myself today.
It's one of those days.
It is one of those days. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
And I think I'm thrown a little bit because we're recording twice this week.
hmm
Between that and then just getting ready to go out of town, my mind's just really busy right now.
Well, we all have
I
those
know,
weeks.
I know. I'm house sitting, really just dog sitting, going over and checking on them a couple times in 2 weeks. And they're so cute too. So I house sat for a guy last weekend and into this week, and they were two little dogs. But these are two. One's a pit mix and one's a shepherd. I can't wait.
Oh,
I love to make new friends that are fuzzy.
well,
That could have come out really wrong.
well, that's what she said.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I am dying to ask you, did you like this book?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I just finished it like when you were pulling in.
Oh, perfect. Then I'm glad I was, as
Yeah.
per usual, late.
Yeah, well, so I just made a couple of notes, like while I was making my notes earlier.
Uh-huh.
But literally it just ended right when
Okay.
you pulled in.
Okay.
But yeah, I liked it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Told you easy read.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. Do you have our blurb?
Uh-huh.
And it was called Winter's Mourn by Mary Stone. And this is actually the first book in a series. Okay.
I like this because it's a short little blurb. It wasn't like a huge giant blurb like the other ones we've been having.
Yes.
All right, a killer is watching. 13 years ago, Winter Black came home early from a sleepover to find her parents brutally murdered and her little brother gone, taken by a serial killer called the Preacher. Now a rookie FBI agent assigned to her first murder case, Winter has returned to the small Virginia town where she grew up. But when bones found by a hunter lead to the discovery of a secret burial ground containing the remains of children, the investigation suddenly hits close to home as the past and future collide with each new shocking discovery. Will they find her brother's bones in the makeshift graveyard next? Only the preacher knows, and he'll do anything to keep the past and its secrets buried until he's ready to make his final move.
Yeah, that is a short blurb.
I loved it.
It's very concise. It tells you what's going on and what we got going on. So I liked it. I had read this before and I mentioned it to you. So we threw it in our book list since we couldn't get to the others. And I think it's really, really good. I think that it's easy read, not too graphic or in any kind of way,
Right.
like not explicit, which sometimes all that stuff is okay. But I think that it was a fun, easy, almost like a beach read,
Yeah.
kind of just don't have to think about it too much.
Right.
Did you like the characters?
I did. I did not like the SSA Aiden guy, like the older
Parrish?
guy.
Yeah.
He creeped me out a little bit because he came into her life when she was like a
13.
teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like obsessed with her. And like
Yes.
that freaks me out because of the dynamic. To
Yeah.
me, it should be like a father-daughter dynamic,
Right.
not a romantic dynamic.
Yeah.
So that was a little to me.
Yeah.
That gave me like the heebie-jeebies.
Okay. Now when I was reading it and thinking, yes, he's obsessed, but I never got like any sexual thing from it.
There was like a part in there, and it's probably just because it's fresh in my mind. It was like she's no longer the little girl that he saved.
Oh, yeah.
He now sees her in a different light, and he was
Yeah.
also noticing that Noah, I think his name
Yeah.
was, also saw her in the same light, and
Yeah.
like they were kind of competing.
Little competition there.
So that was like,
Yeah, that is kind of creepy. I did not pick up on that. I don't know why. Maybe because I just wasn't honed in on that for some reason. Well, and so this was actually the second time I read it. The first time I read it. And maybe because it was in the book, that didn't translate to the book. But yeah, Aiden, I'm Parrish. I'm not a big fan of him. Noah makes me laugh. He has a great sense of humor. It's good. So he is another agent that works. He's our partner. And he does a lot of, what's it called? Self-depreciation, deprecation.
Deprecation.
Deprecation. When he's always looking to break tension and that kind of thing. But then he'll also step up and be the tough guy when he needs to. So I liked him.
Yeah. I think Winter has a little bit of a problem of not wanting to be saved. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
not even that they're trying to save her. She
Mm-hmm.
just views it as that, and I'm sure because of what she went through.
Yeah.
But I think she is always trying to prove herself. So,
She is, and I'm sure also that, but like you said, it's because of her past, but I don't understand. Like, it's not like she needed to be saved before, really. So there was a little bit of a loose end there.
yeah.
Like, I don't understand why she's such a hard-headed person.
Hmm.
And, says the hard-headed person, right? And you're a little bit hard-headed, right?
100%. Like, I'm very hard headed. I mean,
Um,
like 1000%.
Yeah, but she pushes almost everybody away, and females and males,
Right.
like friendships, and because I have read a couple of books ahead, because it was just such a
Yeah.
nice filler, kind of saying that about this. The killer is watching, and her parents got killed.
I understand where you're going
Yes,
with
thank you,
it.
thank
Yeah.
you, thank you. And yeah, even continued relationships, she struggles with that.
Yeah.
So it'll be neat to see how that finally,
Hmm.
if anything ever happens there, or if she, I mean, it's a book, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, but or if she just continues to wallow in her own misery.
Now, I didn't catch it if they said it. Do you know how old she is now? Is she in her 20s?
She's in her 20s. For some reason, I remember Noah saying he was 20, like 28, 29. So
Okay.
she's about the same age as
Okay.
him.
I was
Yeah.
in my head. I don't know why I had her in like
Early 20s?
30s.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't have her.
Yeah. Late 20s. Still young enough to be really cool to like teenagers and stuff.
Hmm.
Not an old person, but still young enough to be a rookie.
Yeah.
What did you think about her drive and her passion for her job? Could you relate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
With her abilities,
Mm-hmm.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Like, what else could she do?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think with her abilities, I think obviously it's like a perfect fit. I'm sure not easy getting into the FBI
Right.
or getting into those positions as a
Mm-hmm.
special agent. So
SSA.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Noah liked to correct people with the special agent.
Right. 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 Yeah. Her little gifts that were left by her head trauma were pretty interesting
And yeah.
and helpful.
Right, but it also leaves like it takes a lot out of her when it happens.
Yes,
And
it's draining.
right.
And the other piece with that too is, so she's got this ability to solve these crimes or to find these clues, but that's not going to stand up in court.
No.
I just knew it was there, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So.
Well, that's why I think Noah tries to almost cover for her
Mm-hmm.
when she's having these moments.
Yeah.
Trying to come up with like, well, we're here anyway. We might as well get a jump on this. We're gonna have to do it,
Right.
or we're gonna eventually come to this conclusion that we
Yeah.
need to bring in the cadaver dogs
Right.
or whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
he picked up on it early
Yes.
and tries to
Compensate
right.
and prep for that. He's a good partner. That the cop partner relationship is intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know this because of Olivia Benson and
I
Elvis
was
Stabler.
the exact same thing.
Do you watch the new Organized Crime?
I can't get into it.
I don't like it as much as I like SVU, but I still like watching it a little bit to see kind of where all the
crossover.
Of course.
Yeah, I tried. I was so excited
Yeah.
that he was coming back
Yeah.
to TV.
Yeah.
And I did watch it when it was crossing over a lot,
Mhm.
and then I couldn't stay with it.
One of the things I like about SVU and a lot of these shows is that it's like, for the most part, one episode, one bad guy, one resolution. Like, I don't have to remember anything. And the organized crime is a little more of a continual
Mhm.
thing with these players. I've already admitted I don't do good with like political
Yeah.
things and all that, so I get
Yeah,
lost.
easily.
Yes, very much so.
Let me ask you, would you want her gifts? Like if you were able to have gifts,
Would I want them? Yeah.
would you embrace it?
Yeah, I mean, it's either that or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great answer. I mean, you've got them anyway, so I don't know if I would use, like, I don't know if I'd join the FBI. I don't know how I would use
Use
it.
them for evil.
Right.
Blackmail people. Like I know your secrets.
I know your hiding spot. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question
Yeah.
because I couldn't see myself being in law enforcement
Yeah.
or anything like that. But I mean, you've been given this thing, so I feel like you should use it.
If you could have a gift,
Hmm.
what would you choose?
Oh, it would not be like bad things glowing purple or whatever. It would be, oh, this is a tricky one, Steph.
I know it's hard,
And
right?
I feel like every time I have to think about this question, I answer it differently. Like I'm never consistent. I think I would like to time travel.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think time traveling would be, or telekinesis. What about you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah, yeah. I would
Um,
not want to be like a mind reader, like
no.
somebody that can like what everybody's thinking, like like no, I don't want
Uh-uh.
to know.
I don't really know. Like, yeah, I don't know.
It's tough. Any of them, I would pretty much, I'd get that. Okay, so here's what would happen. I would be in this cool group because all of a sudden it's like the Incredibles have adopted me into their family and I get a superpower. And I would get the stupid superpower. Like everybody else can be invisible or run really fast, and mine would be like, I can do math really good.
It's not a superpower.
Right, but I would get shafted and get something lame and stupid. Like, this is what you can do. You are you never, your superpower is every bottle flip, you win.
Oh,
That's what I would get.
I'm so glad that's not a thing anymore.
I know.
That was horrible. That was like
So
the
annoying.
worst. Oh,
So annoying.
um, let me ask you, what did you think about her ex-best friend?
I hated her.
Me too. Could you believe that when she had said, "I you should have died that night too"? I
Right.
wanted to jump in that book and smack her.
And it's not like she was saying that when they were 13-year-old little
No,
witches. She was saying that as a grown
yeah,
woman with that. No, I couldn't stand her.
yeah,
I could not stand a lot of people
town.
from her town, the attitude and the, which I know it's everywhere. I mean, every small town's got their things, but I would not want to live wherever they were.
No, but even when they were kids, she just went and told everybody about the gifts.
Yeah, and she had to move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't like that at all.
No, I
It
didn't
was
like
like
that
mean girl
either.
vibes, and she kept that throughout her life.
Yeah, and then they were fighting over the dude
That she had,
that she ended up marrying, who didn't end up being, a 10. And yeah, they didn't have a great marriage and great relationship, and her life wasn't everything she thought it was going to be, but I didn't like her.
yeah,
I don't remember her name. Was it Sam?
yeah. So
Yeah,
I
you didn't like her either.
no, mm-mm.
No. I enjoyed the relationship with her grandparents.
Yeah,
So her grandparents raised her after her parents passed, and they really stepped up and did
needed to be
what
done.
needed to be done. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
with love.
Yes,
What
not
just like
just obligation.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. So, like I said, I'm reading a couple more just because they're making me happy and I'm enjoying them. Would you read the next
Yeah.
one if you needed something to read?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
Yeah,
What would you give it? I know we like to rate them.
like a 7.
Not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah, I
What would
would
you give
too.
it?
Yeah, 7, 8.
Yeah.
7, 8. Um, Definitely not like 10 worthy. There were
No.
some loose ends
Yeah.
and some of it was a little messy,
Yeah.
but enough to get the story and to
I liked
want to
it.
read it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I would continue reading the series. It wasn't, oh my God, never again.
right,
And it wasn't like these characters suck,
right,
but it wasn't where I would like reread this exact book.
right. Yeah, gotcha, gotcha. Good. Okay. I can't remember what we're reading next week. Do you
Weird.
remember what we're reading next week? I thought I had it pulled up and I don't.
Tattooist of,
Auschwitz.
yes. And that one is available.
I don't think I need to be in charge of the book list next time.
Okay.
But I have to take some responsibility because you do it all. Okay, yeah. So our next book is going to be The Tattooist of Auschwitz.
Yes.
And I feel like I've read this before.
I've never, and I
Okay.
never watched the movie either.
No, but maybe I've just seen it around so much
I feel
because
like that just not that like murder and like whatever is
lighthearted.
lighthearted, but stuff that's based off of real things make me like
Yeah,
kind of oh.
I know.
So I've never had the inclination, but this is getting me out of my comfort zone of reading.
Yeah.
So I'm okay.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, Here we go.
Here we go.
We'll see.
It's gonna be a ride.
It will be. It will be.
I just saw almost like a PSA.
Hmm.
There is a new trafficking scheme that they tried to get you at the
Oh,
stores with. So I think we should talk about that.
let's do. What? Tell me all about it.
So a woman was in a Walmart and a quote unquote employee had come up to her and said, "Hey, is this your car?" And showed her a picture of her car. And he said, "It's getting towed right now. There's a tow truck out there." And she's like, "Well, I'm not parked in like a legal
Right.
spot or in a
Right.
whatever, no parking zone." And he said, "We are restructuring our parkings for whatever, like moms
Right.
with kids or whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't go out there and move your car, it's going to get towed." And she's like, "I don't understand. I'm not even parked in a close spot. You know, like, what are you talking
Hmm.
about?" Going back and forth. And then he said, "Okay, well, I'll tell them not to tow it this time, but like, this is a major issue." So she
Okay.
goes up to the customer service and was like, "I was just approached by this guy who says he's an employee, you know, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah." Not an employee. They were just trying to get her out there.
Oh.
So she checks out. The manager's like, "I'm going to walk you out to
Hmm.
make sure that you get to your car okay." And he had some kind of app that can show like air tags and tracking devices.
Hmm.
They put a tracking device on her vehicle.
Oh my goodness.
And they said they don't know if it was on there before she got to Walmart and that's how they knew she was there,
Hmm.
or if they put it on there to track her home.
Hmm.
But they did get the tracking device off of the vehicle.
Oh
But
my God.
so, like, never trust employees that come up to you about like issues. Always go to customer service. Make sure, you know, be vigilant. Like I said, I am so unaware of my surroundings and I really need to get better about that. Not that anybody is going to try to, God, I would be like the worst kidnapped person ever.
I would ask too many questions. I know me, and I would ask too many. Where are we going? What are we going to do when we get there? How are we going to go? Where are
I'm
we going
hungry.
to? Yeah.
Can I have some water?
Right, right. Can we please stop to use the bathroom?
Yeah, so just be like super vigilant of your
Wow.
surroundings.
Do you remember where that was?
I don't. It was something I saw
US.
as I was, yeah, it was in the US for
Okay.
sure. But I was just scrolling and I saw it and I was like, that's terrifying. Like,
Yeah. Workers and employees are just normal people, but you think, oh, I can trust them. But somebody wearing a blue polo in Best Buy or whatever is,
red shirt and Target.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, so never just go out. I mean,
Don't assume.
right, exactly.
Have you ever seen the saying that says teenage girls, if you're out, or boys really, but I think it says girls, if you're out somewhere and you feel threatened, find a lady who's like a mom age
Yes,
person and go to them, and I promise you will have your back.
right.
And that just really, like, I'm kind of on the lookout now. I'm like, who can I help? Like,
Let me put my cape on.
right? And let me do that math real fast for you.
Yeah,
That's scary though.
it's terrifying. There's been so many just in Gastonia
I
at the
hear,
Target,
yeah, and I hear it's because it's
right on the
proximity
highway.
to the
Yeah,
interstate. So be aware.
yeah. And
And
then like do you remember it was probably, I don't know, last summer somebody going around about like chickens. It was like a two people that had like accents from another country, no clue
mm-hmm,
what the country was, have no clue what the nationality was,
mm-hmm.
but they were going around and like trying to either sell chickens or buy, but it was like super suspect. It was like
No, I don't remember
the
hearing this.
police were said to be on the lookout for them, and like
Oh
it was,
goodness.
you know, like a whole thing. But that was just like right around here.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Did you ever, when Dylan was tiny, did you ever have any issues like that where you were feeling like you were being followed or like creeped out?
No, not with Dylan. I was drugged in Mexico.
What?
Yeah, like my drink was drugged in Mexico
What
at a
happened?
bar.
Okay, so who were you there
I
with?
was with Brandon.
Okay.
We were in college, I think, between like winter break,
Uh-huh.
and he went to the bathroom, and I went to go get a drink, and I hadn't drank all day.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first drink of the day, and he came back. He went and got a drink, and I hadn't drank the whole thing. It was like maybe half of it, and I was like, "I don't feel good." And he's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I really just I feel weird. I don't feel good."
Oh my God.
We went outside. I made myself throw up outside.
Mm-hmm.
The drink was red. I was like throwing up purple. And When I tell you I was high as a kite the rest of the night, I didn't drink the rest of the night. I was high as a kite the rest of the night. I had a blast.
Well,
But I was high as a kite. Like, but again, I had only drank, like a third to half of the drink,
yeah.
before I started feeling sick. And Brandon was like, "Do you think if you go back and get another drink, they'll try it again? We can be on the same level."
Yeah. Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, little did I know, like I partied quite a bit in college and high
Yeah.
school,
You were
so
like, this is nothing new.
child's play.
Right.
No, but
Right.
yeah, that was like,
I'm glad that you had somebody there with you that was, I mean, I'm sure he kind of looked after you at
yeah,
that point to make sure that
yeah.
you were okay. That's scary. Two-step. I've never
hmm
had anything like that happen either.
It had to have been the bartender because I was holding my drink waiting for Brandon.
You think
So
it was the bartender?
there was no other way. And I mean, I took it right off the bar as soon as he put it on
Okay.
there, and
You didn't
I
like
washed
leave it
it.
unattended.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of those things that they just try to invent to find like the straws that change color or fingernail polish that changes color?
hmm
Those are pretty cool.
The scrunchies that go over your cup too. It turns
Oh,
into a lid
that's a great
so that
idea.
you always have it on your wrist. You can just pop it right over,
Yeah,
and it has like a little hole for your straw.
that's really neat. Have you seen, I know you probably have, but like a lot of times in a bar in the bathroom, there will be a sign like if you are being followed or if you don't feel safe, like if you need this, ask for an angel drink. If
hmm
you need, or whatever, I don't know what
Yeah.
it's called. Or if you need us to call you a ride, ask for a, what,
Yeah.
like a code name.
hmm
I think that is so amazing
Yeah.
when there's things like that.
Same. Yeah. And I think that because so much horrible bad things happen
Mm-hmm.
and every single day,
Yep.
it's unfortunately needed. So
Yep.
kudos to the facilities that
Totally.
do that stuff. I think the inventions are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
For
Keep them coming.
yeah,
Anything that can help keep people safe.
yeah. So scary, scary world out there. So have you ever felt like you were being followed?
I mean, like in my car,
hmm
when I was driving, there was a couple situations where I felt like somebody was following me, and I did the thing like where you're supposed to take like three rights or three, whatever it
hmm
was. It was probably just overactive imagination. I've never really felt skeeved out like that over somebody.
When I first moved here,
Mm-hmm.
because Dylan was still in a, like little in a car seat, I went to Food Lion. Brandon was working,
Mm-hmm.
and I was coming home from Food Lion, and a police officer was behind me and followed me into the neighborhood. And
Mm-hmm.
like, so I took like different roads to get to my house,
Mm-hmm.
followed me to my house, and like I pulled into the garage and I closed the garage, which at that time our garage wasn't full of junk. And I closed the garage because I was like totally freaked out. And he sat outside of the house for like a couple of minutes and then drove away. I called Brandon at work. I'm like,
Right.
what the heck? But yeah, police
That's
car.
that's terrifying too.
Yeah.
Gosh, this is a crazy world we live in,
Yeah.
isn't it?
hmm
Stay aware, be vigilant.
Yeah.
Vigilant, vigilant. Uh-huh.
Not
So,
vigilante. So,
um,
bananas.
yeah, wow.
Speaking of being followed, the FBI announced that they are tracking 500 serial killers that they believe to be truckers, like long haul truckers,
Yeah.
um, who operate mobile killing chambers.
Oh my God.
And it's across various states. They believe that there has been over 1,000 victims. Most of them are truck stop women
Right.
workers.
Lounge lizards.
Yes,
No, no, what's it? Lot
lot
lizards.
lizards.
But, or people of a lifestyle that are easily, I forgot what that's called.
But they said that I guess it's starting to ramp up. And if you're traveling this summer, to be very careful, vigilant of your surroundings at truck stops, if you're stopping at different gas stations and
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they are mainly focusing on like women,
Mm-hmm.
but two couples have been abducted and murdered.
That's crazy because usually you do hear about it being somebody high risk lifestyle. That's what I was trying to think of.
hmm
Who's kind of transient, who, does is not missed easily. So for it to be a couple,
hmm
that's and I mean they could be, in a
Yeah.
situation too where they're kind of floating through right now. So, oh my gosh, 500? That is insane.
Yeah.
I've heard, I know, I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me Google it. But the statistic for active serial killers in the US isn't even that much, I didn't think.
Yeah. The FBI has a special unit, and
Mm-hmm.
it's called the Highway Serial Killings Initiative
Okay.
Unit or something to that effect. And they've mapped out, I guess, the main route,
Yeah.
and it's through I-40. So it goes through like,
North Carolina and Tennessee.
yeah, straight to California. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a whole pathway to stay off of.
They're supposedly only, I mean, and how do you know this until they catch them? But 25 to 50 active serial killers in the United States at any given time.
Well, this thing that was just released like a week or two ago said they believe there's a huge amount of truckers that, yeah.
I'm thinking of all the people I know that are truckers. So we're going to the beach next week and we'll stop by Buc-ee's. Have you ever been to Buc-ee's?
I've seen a lot of videos of
It's
it
a lot of
though.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming, but it's
Is
a
it
lot of fun.
like Cracker Barrel like on a
That's
track?
exactly what I was thinking of.
How far is Anderson from here?
It's like on the way to Clemson, I think. So a couple hours probably.
Did you hear what happened
Uh-uh.
last week or this week? Whenever June 22nd was. Someone found human remains
Mm-hmm.
in a gravel lot near some super fancy neighborhood.
Okay.
What would you do if you found human remains?
I mean, I would be calling 911.
Okay. Do you know what this person did?
No telling.
Took them to Goodwill. The human remains, put them in a box, and took it to Goodwill. Brought the human remains to Goodwill, where then the police responded to a phone call saying that there was human remains.
I am speechless. Why would you do that? For what are they going to do with them? Like they put them in a box or back, whatever,
Yeah.
and put them in the vehicle and drove them there and took them. I thought you were going to say maybe they threw them away.
No,
They took
no.
to the dump.
Well, they took him to Goodwill. So the coroner believes that the bones are about 2 years old. So they're trying to
Trying to figure out.
doing all the testing on it and whatnot. But why? Like, what in the world would make you take human remains to a Goodwill?
I wouldn't want to touch them anyway. Like I have a little gag when I'm cleaning up dog poop, let alone messing with human remains.
I just don't understand like the whole thought process. I don't get it. Maybe it was the actual killer.
That's what I was thinking. And now that they've been to Goodwill and they've been around all the other DNA and fingerprints and stuff, it's
They found them.
right. It helps kind of mask the original DNA. They need
We
to,
just solved the case.
yes. So they need to track who brought them
Yeah.
and dropped them off, and that's who done it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We just solved it.
Next.
Next. Just let us solve all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring them
It's our superpower.
Yes. Along with doing great math and bottle flip champions of the world. I saw your next note.
Yes.
I heard about that.
Okay.
I know it was up north.
Yeah. It was
King's Dominion or King's Island.
Kings Island.
Yep, amusement park.
Yes. A 30-year-old man was on the roller coaster, which went upside down, and he lost his keys.
Mm-hmm.
And he argued with the workers that he wanted to go get his keys. They told him he had to wait until the park closed.
Mm-hmm.
And he did not listen. He did not accept that. And he went into the restricted area. He had to go through like 2 or 3
Fences.
whatever, yeah, to get there. And was hit by the roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Taken to the hospital and did not make it.
Nope. I mean, I understand wanting to get your keys. I really, really do. But do you not understand? Yeah. So I was thinking he was hit by like somebody's feet or something. So do you,
I don't know. It didn't
okay.
say.
Okay.
It was like a hanging one, so I would assume it would be
Yeah.
somebody's body part that hit him. Like,
Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
unless it was like on the loop-de-loop and it got, you know what I mean? Like when it goes upside down.
Yeah.
But even that still, it would still be the feet, I guess.
Right.
That
It's
would
not going to
come
hit
in.
him when that's
Yeah.
upside down in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that though. 38-year-old man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think that's anything I would ever really have to worry about going through to get to the restricted areas like that. And wouldn't you think, hey, I might get hurt. I need to be careful. I need to be on the lookout if you're going to do that.
I, it makes you just wonder. Most amusement parks now serve alcohol and they serve,
Yeah,
whatever, or I'm not sure what's legal in
right.
that state.
Sure, sure.
There might be other things.
Well, and even if it's not legal, he might have had something in the system before he got there.
Right. So
Uh,
that's a dumb way to die.
that's dumb ways to die. That is a dumb way to die. That is a
That
dumb
is
way to
not the
die.
way I want to go out.
Mm-mm, not at all. We were talking about do we like roller coasters and stuff last week. Do you ever feel like that you're just gonna like, this is the one where I'm gonna fly out of the roller coaster seat?
Never before, but as many videos
Mm-hmm.
and as many like ride malfunctions is going on right
Mm-hmm.
now. Like last year when the
And
Fury
Fury
was
cracked.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and it was they God knows how long it was cracked for.
Right.
Like that's terrifying.
Yeah, I have the moment of panic, especially like the first ride of the season when you're going up that first big hill that most roller coasters have, and you can't see the crest of it and you can't see like
Mhm.
what's next. I have that moment of this is how I'm going to go. And then it's like I get to the top and we do that first little drop and I'm like, "Woo, yeah, if I get, there's nothing I can do about it now."
So do you see the videos of rides in other countries that are
Yes. Yes. That are
like
insane.
yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do that.
Uh,
I love some scary
uh-huh.
rides, and I love to be scared,
Yeah.
like in like the adrenaline
Yeah.
rush. But I don't know, like some of those,
I feel like Tokyo has a lot of crazy ones.
I don't know, it just makes me like scared just thinking about it.
I
Like
know. That you look stressed out right now.
I watch them I just think like go through your head as you're waiting to get on those rides.
So, did I tell you I rode the one that went straight up and straight down?
Mm,
A lot goes through your mind.
yeah. And especially some of those water rides,
Oh yeah.
absolutely not.
Well,
Like
especially when the sides aren't very high.
all I think is, besides like death,
Right.
wardrobe malfunction.
Totally.
Getting to the
Totally.
end and being like butt naked.
Right.
No.
Or just your biggest wedgie ever as you're trying to get up out of the thing like a lady.
Even if you wanted to have children, you wouldn't be having children
Right.
ever again.
Right. Right. Lots of,
Like
yeah.
no. Mm-mm.
That bad moms page, there was a picture the other day of this teenager gymnast doing a cartwheel, and she had a wardrobe malfunction with her unitard thing
Hmm.
was so, when she did the cartwheel, it
Hmm.
split her. And the comments in the comment section were pure gold because it was just, I can't say. It was
Did you
hilarious.
see the one on there that the lady was at the public pool and she just had on like a regular bikini?
And I saw you commented on it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yes. But the woman was like the owner or whoever ran it
Hmm.
was just like pure jealous
Yeah.
and basically got her kicked out
Yeah.
of the
And she didn't have on anything inappropriate.
but she had a gorgeous butt.
She did.
I mean, she had a booty.
She really did.
Yeah.
She really did. And she had on this bathing suit and cute size, cute shape. I
Hmm.
mean, and she was not supermodel thin.
No, she was like curvy. I
She
mean, she was
was
curvy and
right.
yeah.
And I guess whoever was just having a moment and jealous about her and one kicked her out because of her bathing suit.
But it wasn't the first time, according to the reviews. She said on the
Oh,
Google reviews, it's
oh,
happened before. So I'm thinking like woman scorned.
yeah.
Either her spouse is there and there's issues, or
She
just a
just got a
very insecure.
flat back. Oh
So yeah.
man.
But
I
I
have,
mean, I felt bad for her. That's horrible to have
yeah.
like, in front of your kids and everything. Like,
Well, especially when we try to teach positivity. That's a new word. Some people call it body positivity.
mhm.
Oh my gosh, speaking of, I saw another thing that said, did we really body shame that much in the 90s and
I know some of
2000s?
that too.
And it was Nichole Richie, and they were telling her she looks too big on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped me remember who else was on there. Do you
I
remember?
don't remember who, but I did. Nichole Richie was the first one.
Nichole
Yeah.
Richie was the first one, and they were telling her she looked big on TV. Oh, and there was a lot of the next top model
Yeah.
things, and they were telling them they needed to lose 7 to 10
Yeah,
pounds.
your
And
hair is really like flowing, so that covers up some of the 7 to 8 pounds you could stand to lose. And I was like,
they're like, yeah, I know, my this being here in this competition's got me all messed up. And then what made me so mad, okay, when men say things like that, it's like jerk.
mm-hmm,
But when other women, she was like, you need to learn how to stand so your belly's not showing. I just wanted to smack her.
mm-hmm.
I'm glad that I feel like we've
Come a long way.
progressed
Yeah,
since then, that we don't have that. You almost have to look anorexic
yeah.
to be considered beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was,
Awful.
yeah, it was bad.
God bless us all that survived.
I know. I know. Oh, it was bad.
So you're on TikTok, but your
Yeah.
feed isn't like your
It
TikTok.
just depends on who watched it last. So
Do you ever get Adrielle Sigler on your For You page?
that name doesn't sound familiar, but tell me about it.
So she is a quote unquote influencer.
Mm-hmm.
She has a pretty big following on TikTok and like for no reason. Like she's like just super annoying. But her whole I mean and she just progressively got like a big head for I think having like so many followers or
Okay.
whatever. She's plays off of like she's a vegan and
No,
she
I'm not.
stopped shaving her body.
Mm-hmm.
She's like all natural, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got kids,
Mm-hmm.
but she uses her kids in her videos like to make money, like exploit
Okay.
them pretty
Yeah.
much. So her son, oh, and she does GoFundMe's all the time. So like GoFundMe's for her kids' braces, GoFundMe for like just
Things that are okay. Okay.
so her son. This is the most recent thing, and I don't follow her. It's just always in my For You
Yeah.
page. Her son got jumped by 9 kids from school,
Mm-hmm.
pulled into the woods or lured into the woods, and this is what she said. Edited this video of that somebody took of him getting beat up.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I need to move. I'm so scared for my life. Does a GoFundMe for a stupid amount of money. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember what it was, like $30,000, something insane. And so people are like, oh my God, donating, donating, donating. So she docks all the kids that were in the video, except
Whoa.
puts out their name, address, whole 9 yards, presses charges,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't show up to the court for this, whatever, for the charges. Well, it comes out all these other parents are pissed off at this point, because their kids were doxxed and,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever. Well, they all say that her son essayed some of the girls in their school, and these were the brothers.
Oh.
And it was a known fight. Like he knew what he was doing. He threw the first punch.
Okay.
So the whole video was edited that she put out
To make him
to
look
make him look like
a
this big
victim.
victim. So
Oh.
now and then, so she has this GoFundMe going, and then she's in Florida on vacation, like taking all these videos and doing these lives and like whatever. And people are like, well, wait a second, if you're doing a GoFundMe,
Right.
how are you on vacation?
Right.
So all these people started reporting her.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's under investigation for
Fraud.
possible wire fraud because it's considered wire fraud for fraudulent GoFundMes. And they're
Oh my
requesting,
gosh.
I guess, like documentation of where the money went
Mm.
or, whatever.
I didn't know. I'm glad that that's a thing because I've wondered about that before. Fraudulent GoFundMe things. So, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But insane. And she's so annoying.
Is she?
Oh my God. And there's so many people that make these skits about her. And
I've probably seen those.
yeah. Why are you in my feed?
Right. Go away. Go away. Do not see. Do not see.
Yeah.
No, the ones that I've seen that I'm like, oh my gosh, you are so famous and it is so crazy is there's this one girl named Michaela
Mm-mm.
and she does makeup and she looks totally
The
different.
one that has like the Boston accent, or she puts on like a
Yeah, I thought it was
some kind of
like
accent.
New York or Jersey or something.
I thought it was supposed to be Boston, but I
Yeah,
could be
I don't
wrong.
know. But she is gorgeous when I mean, she knows how to use makeup
Mhm.
and she does all different kinds of looks. That pops up in my feed a lot.
She got a lot of hate too because that accent's fake.
Oh, is it?
One, yeah, somebody like they went back like dug deep and found her old like apology
Oh,
videos that she has a regular voice and a regular accent.
okay.
And so she totally switched that up to get
Yeah.
attention.
Oh, well,
Hmm.
it kind of worked, I guess.
Well, she's always saying that like these are her real opinions on the makeup,
Yeah.
like her real reviews, and she was getting
Hate for that.
no paid, but she
Yeah.
wasn't saying that. She was saying it was like her real opinions, but
Yeah.
she was being
I don't care if people get paid to review items.
she had flip-flopped on a lot of them. Like her
Oh,
original videos were like, I hate this product, it's terrible, blah blah
oh,
blah blah. And then it was like, oh, this is the best product I've ever used.
ugh. See, and I've taken her advice on some products. I need a legit good skincare person I can follow that's gonna tell me the truth.
But yeah, so she got a lot of hate, and then her whole wedding was sponsored.
I did hear that.
So
Would you do that though? Like, would you accept sponsorships for something like that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an influencer. My opinion doesn't matter.
It matters to me. It matters to me.
So yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. I half of me feels like it's tacky,
Yes,
and then the other half is like, well, heck, if it's gonna pay for the wedding,
right. I mean, it is a little crass, I would say. But
mhm.
then again, I have a really great wedding on somebody else's dime.
Yeah. Did you look at the Karen Reed trial at all? Did you have time?
A little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit. Not like a super
Deep
lot.
dive.
Have there been more?
Well, the jury's out right
They're
now.
still out.
Yeah. They're hoping tomorrow because it's Friday
Yeah.
that they'll come to whatever conclusion. But the last thing that I saw was that the defense attorney brought to the judge that the jury tickety boxes for guilty, not guilty.
Ballots,
Well, I don't know what they're called.
whatever.
Yeah. Um,
Tickety boxes sounds
tickety
right.
boxes.
Yeah.
It didn't have like a not guilty for like the lesser charges.
Oh.
It had like not guilty on the top, and then it had like the lesser charges, and you can check off a box, but it didn't say like guilty, not guilty. It just said guilty. So it was almost like leading the jury, almost like forcing the jury to pick one. But the judge was like, well, no, if they pick not guilty up there, and the defense attorney's like, no, like this isn't, that's misleading. And this judge has been shady the whole, not shady,
Mm,
but like, I mean, you could tell she did not like the defense attorney, and you could
yeah.
tell like she did not like Karen Reed
Yeah.
the entire time. She was like, I'm not changing it. This is how it's always been. He's like, well, I don't care how it's always been. It's not right, and it shouldn't be this way. Like, change it.
Yeah.
And he said, this will be grounds for appeal. If it comes back as guilty, this is grounds for appeal. And she was like, well, it's not getting changed. And she walks out. An hour later, she came back and changed the ballot or changed whatever the tickety boxes were.
The tickety boxes. Um, I was thinking that I feel like there should be some kind of a standard format
Yeah.
that goes in for everybody. And I mean, I know that it's different depending on the case, but you know, guilty and all those choices, not guilty, all those choices, or however.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's not what he was saying. He's
it's
like,
like it's always been this way.
no, well, he's like, I don't understand. Like, this is so misleading.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that they can have not guilty for this the big charge,
Mm-hmm.
but all these lesser charges, it just says guilty with check marks next to it.
Oh,
So they did change it,
yeah.
and I guess retrained the jury or retold them.
How to use the tickety boxes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just been a mess this whole entire time.
And when it's like that and doesn't flow, it's just cause for speculation.
Hmm. And I mean, the whole thing just is to me highlights the corruption.
Yeah.
And what do you like? Do you think that it is good that they are live streaming all these cases?
No,
You don't?
no. I mean, the only reason they're doing it is, in my opinion, is because we're just nosy people and we want to see it. Like, I can't think of anything good that's actually coming from it,
Uh-huh.
but I can think of a lot of bad reasons that this could come out. For instance, like we've talked about before, people on trial seeing witnesses. Like, now you're opening up to the whole world.
Have you watched the Young Thug trial at all?
Mm-mm.
That judge
Doesn't play.
is corrupt
Oh,
too.
really?
I believe so. He had a ex parte meeting or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it's called. So the defense was like, I want to know what was said. Like, I should have been part of this. You met with a witness.
Mm-hmm.
You had the prosecution there. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
should have been there. Or I want to see. He put the defense attorney in contempt of court. Wanted to put him in jail.
Have you heard about all the shootings in Florida?
Mm-mm.
with the so the rapper Fulio was killed. I know. Coolio, Fulio, I
I've
know.
never heard of this guy. Okay, but go ahead.
Okay, so he was killed, and now there's just like some kind of beef between him and another one. And according to Jackson, which I'm sure this is 100% true, like 20 something people have gotten killed in, I want to say Tampa, Jacksonville areas. Yeah, so keep your ears on that.
Did you see I tagged you on the Florida
So,
cop guy? That does the. I
no.
tagged you on
Okay,
TikTok.
I saw you tag me, but I didn't look at the one who does the
Sheriff Polk, I think his name
yeah,
is.
who does the statements and stuff.
Uh-huh. So yeah, he's hysterical. He is so funny. You need to watch his
I
videos.
definitely will.
He's one of them. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 counties that do
Okay,
it.
I'll have to do it. I TikTok sometimes all the notifications stress me out.
Mm.
Like they're just all there, and I need to filter them better. I don't know. So
Well, I tagged you from our
our
page.
page,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw it come through because I got an email
Mhm.
that you did. So I'll look at it again.
Yeah.
I know you tagged me in the yard work. All the gentlemen that help the nice ladies with yard work. So I mean, it is what it is.
Now I know why you like yard work. That's all I'm saying.
Makes sense now.
I could get into yard work if that was what we were planting.
Oh goodness, that's funny.
I think I got a couple of good.
Okay.
Hopefully we don't like cry laugh
Yeah.
during this whole
Brian
thing.
was like, "What took so long?" I was like, "Babe, we could not get it together about this one." I was trying to figure out what that name
Yeah,
was.
I think it's just a throwaway account.
Oh, that's why it says throw.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I that a-hole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? I'm a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworkers who work weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. Danielle, college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. I don't know if they're in a bad mood already and looking for someone to take it out on or what, but it's a lot. So how sad that a grown man is taking your anger out on high school and college kids. So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. So one day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy started ranting at him too. So he was like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money. I need this job, please." And he played it up being really mean, telling me to take off my apron and leave. The angry guy started to backtrack, like, "No, it isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all that drama, I still had my job. We were just acting, and we've done it a couple of times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. Almost every time the person who had come in angry apologizes and say they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying, making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they've gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the a-hole for this joke? No,
I don't think so either. I love it.
I do too. I mean,
If
because
you have not worked in customer service, then you
right,
don't understand. But
some of the ways that these people act is just unnecessary. So they need to get called out on the carpet for it. No,
um,
do it, bro,
yeah,
girl, whatever, whichever.
I worked in a call center setting
Yeah,
before, right when we moved to Tennessee, and the girl that used to sit across from me, if they asked for a supervisor, we would just
switch back and forth.
send the call across the
Yeah,
aisle.
yeah. I mean, I've worked in that kind of center before, and I've also worked retail. I worked at Old Navy for a little bit,
Yeah.
and just the way that people act
Hmm.
over, like they said, over nothing of significance.
And it's 10 times worse now. Like I couldn't imagine having to work
Yeah,
in retail right now.
no, me neither. No, you're not an a-hole. Keep
No.
doing you.
Yeah, I love that.
I do too.
And I think it's awesome. It is teaching them a lesson.
Think about how you're like
They're a real life
puts it in
situation.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the a-hole.
Nope. That was a good one. Am I the a-hole for telling my in-laws exactly where my husband was when I was in labor? I gave birth to my son 10 weeks ago. I went through an exhausting period while I was nearing my due date. I was experiencing discomfort and wanted my husband by my side when I go into labor, but he'd go out every night to hang out at his friend's place and watch football games. I suggested that he play or watch games at home just in case, but he was having none of it and said he had to attend game night at his brother and friend's place along with his buddies. He said they had certain, how can I describe it, quote, rituals when watching a game, and he can't enjoy doing it at home or anywhere else. The night of our son's birth, my water broke while my husband was at his buddy's place watching the game. I called him and told him to get home and take me to the hospital, and he said he was coming, but he didn't. I ended up calling my sister, she lives nearby, and she took me to the hospital. My husband showed up 2 hours later after he kept calling asking if I was still in labor and that he was almost done watching the game. He was able to make it on time for our son's birth, but I was furious with him and mad and disappointed. He apologized profoundly and has been working regaining my trust and respect for him after what he's done. He's otherwise very supportive and involved in our son's care. Last night, I was at my in law's house for dinner, and we were talking about my son's birth date. My husband suddenly started, quote, recalling what happened that night and basically started lying about driving me to the hospital, waiting and feeling stressed out, and standing on his feet for so long without food or water. I was confused and I said, no, none of this is true. None of this happened. In fact, he was watching the game when I went into labor and wanted him to drive me to the hospital, but he didn't show up until 2 hours later. My mother in law, who takes no crap from anybody and whom everyone fears, lost it on him, yelling, asking him if that was true, and he kept quiet. She started berating him left and right, telling him to sit down and shut up. Everyone was laughing at how she basically treated him as if he was a boy in trouble. She kept saying, shame on you, shame, shame, shame. This is not how I raise my children to treat their wives. Jordan, you're a disgrace, and I'm disappointed because of what I heard about you. He literally swallowed every bit of his mother's berating and didn't say anything until we got home, where he went nuts, saying I made him look neglectful, a bad husband and father by telling the family about where he was. And I shouldn't have said anything, but I argued it wasn't okay for him to lie and play hero in front of his parents. He said I just caused a rift between him and his family and asked if I was happy now. Am I the a-hole? Should I have not said anything? Edited to say he's done similar things in the past since he's a major enthusiast of football and hockey, but I didn't expect to get that. Also, this is not our first baby together. We have a 4-year-old son.
I don't care if they have another child in the mix. She is not the a-hole.
No,
And when he said, "Are you happy?" I would have been like, "Yes, I am." I am sorry. Like that is,
the fact that he said that she caused the rift, no, dude,
yeah,
you did when you chose to do what you did.
yeah. And if he's embarrassed by it to make up all these lies, then
That's probably meaning that he knows he's in the
yeah.
wrong.
And like, do you really think he was at his friend's house?
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's weird. Like, why wouldn't you leave like we were watching a game? Like your wife's in labor. I think there's something more suspect going on. Just
Are
my
we going to
opinion.
solve this case too?
Mm,
I don't, I mean, maybe, but he said his brother, well, no, his brother would take up for him too.
hmm
Um,
I think it's weird.
oh, it's very weird. I can't see. The only thing that I feel like I could even kind of understand is if it was a Super Bowl and it was the very last game and they had gone undefeated all season and they had the specific rituals that they did, and so he had to do those. And I mean, I couldn't even understand that
Yeah,
really, but that's like the only thing that makes any kind of not even sense, but
but 2 hours
yeah,
saying that you're on the way and not show up while your wife is in like gone into labor,
right.
water broke.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, no, that's she needs to first of all, she needs to leave him. What and his parents, I'm glad they had her back. He probably was with another woman.
that's where my mind went, but
You're probably right.
I don't know. Dump him, not the
Yeah.
a-hole.
No, he is. Definitely he
And
is.
good for his mom.
Right. Good for her.
Put him in his place. Because obviously he didn't care. Well, I guess she said he's trying to make it up to her, I guess. But there's no making up for that, I don't feel.
No. No, I mean that could have put her in a dangerous spot.
So Dylan was in the NICU when he was born. He was in the NICU for a week. And Brandon did that night. Well, he was there for the birth. And I had like a private room in the whatever unit, the maternity ward or whatever. But the night that Dylan was born, Brandon left me there and left Dylan in the NICU and went and played poker.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Now, I will say that I sent Brian, so I sent when the night Jackson was born, well, he's born like at 7 o'clock in the morning. I put Jackson in the nursery that night, and because I was exhausted, I'd been laboring all night, and I put him in the nursery and sent Brian home
Mhm.
because I was like, I don't want to deal with you or you or you.
Oh, I had a C-section.
Oh, so you were like
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't even know that he was in the NICU. When I woke up in the recovery room, it was like hours and hours later.
Hmm.
And I asked Brandon, I'm like, where's the baby? And he's like, I don't know, they haven't come in yet. And I'm like, you haven't asked where the baby is?
You know, men are so funny with things sometimes.
And he's like, well, no. And no sooner did I say that, a doctor walks in and he's like, I am Dr. So and so, a neonatal surgeon. And I was like, and he's like, we didn't have to do surgery, but he's in the NICU. He wasn't breathing, like he had
Oh,
swallowed all
yeah.
sorts of fluids and stuff during the birth, and so they had kept him in there for 6 days or 7 days.
Jackson was in the NICU too. It was scary.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know, they just haven't brought him yet, and I'm like, that's not
And went and played
normal.
poker.
Yeah.
No comment. Anyway, so no, you are not the a-hole.
Mm-mm.
He is.
Yes, agreed.
And you are not the a-hole. He is.
Well, that's a loaded statement.
Oh my goodness. Well, those
Yes.
are some good ones too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another Reddit that's like, Am I the Butthead? And
Same
like,
thing.
yeah, it's very similar, but it's supposed to be like more like silly ones. I haven't even like
Oh,
dived into
okay.
it yet. But yeah,
Okay.
there's a whole nother like subreddit of it.
Reddit's like never ending.
No. But if anybody would like us to judge them, you can submit it anonymously and we'll be happy to let you know if it's you or the other person.
And it's gonna be them. Don't worry about it. So just let us know.
Unless you steal the lasagna.
Oh, don't even. I'm still mad about that one. Oh my goodness, that's funny. So if anybody like to be a guest, please let us know.
Yes, we would love to have a guest. And
Just
you don't even have to live by us. We can do it like Zoom type of
yeah.
style.
And you don't have to do like the whole thing. Like we can just have a short little convo with you. It's not like you have to read the book and do all the stuff. Unless you want to. More than welcome to. But you do not have to. Like and subscribe and leave us a review
And tell your friends.
and tell your friends.
And what's our book next week? The tattoo.
The Tattooist of Auschwitz.
That's it.
Yep.
All right. So thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you all next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.